949. Yeah, that's a lie. Okay? I don't see how anybody can sit here and tell me that Mexicans and Hispanics are genetically our people. That's crazy. Okay. On page 949, in the Talmud, right? The Talmud, written by black Jews, by the way. It was the white Jews who adopted the Talmud, but it was originally written by our ancestors, and most of them, as Maimonides said, they did not believe in Christ. But let's go inside and read and see what's going on. Do me a favor, you even read this part right here. See my cursor? Read that right there.
Zutra, the Pius Ben Kahana, 25th Elixarch, Mar Zutra.
Mar Zutra. Mar Zutra was another black Jew. And Mar Zutra, let's see what it says down below, Raven. Mar Zutra, birthplace, Persian Empire, right? Birthplace in 370 BC. He was born during the Persian Empire. Okay? Mar Zutra was a Jew born in 370 BC during the Persian Empire. Okay, he spoke of the 10 tribes migrating to Africa in the ancient Babylonian Talmud. Okay, so he was born during the Persian Empire. And let's see again where he said the 10 tribes went. Okay, so when you go to Sanhedrin 94a, it says right here in the Gemara was a group of Jews. The ancient Hebrews asked Mar Zutra, who was an Israelite leader, and he was an elder. They said, where the 10 tribes were exiled by Sennacherib. Now do me a favor, Yavin. Inside Sanhedrin 94a, let's see what Mar Zutra, who was born during the Persian Empire, let us see what he told the Jews where the 10 tribes migrated. Read this part right here on the right side.
Khan, the Gemara asks, to where did Sennacherib exile the 10 tribes? Mar Zutra says he exiled them to Africa. And
Stop.
Rabbi...
He exiled them to where?
Africa.
Go ahead.
And Rabbi Hanina says to the Selug Mountains.
Stop right there. When you go look at read Josephus, it talks about the Selug Mountains. That's in the region of Africa. He exiled them to Africa. Okay? And again, Mar Zutra, he go all the way back to the Persian Empire. Okay, this is blown up right here one more time. I read it one more time. Mar Zutra says he exiled them to Africa. And Rabbi Hananiah says to the Selug Mountains. And this lines up with Zephaniah 3 and 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. It lines right up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how we know the Bible is true. And Negroes lie all the time, especially when they have an agenda. When they have an agenda, they lie all the time. Hey, Yavin, can you see this part on the right here? Can you see this text right here? If you can see it, read this right here for me.
The Igbo are decentralized group of clans that have a tradition that they migrated from a northern area and are of the 10 tribes of Ephraim, Naphtali, Manasseh, Levi, Zebulun, and Gad. The British
go ahead.
The British recorded how the Igbo kept circumcision, stayed away from impure meat, practiced biblical purity laws, and much more. Their old traditions are called Aminana, what to do in the land.
You see that? Lines right up with Zephaniah 3:10. When God said his people will be dwelling in Africa below the rivers of Cush, meaning below the rivers of Ethiopia. Same thing as Mar Zutra said, who dated all the way back to the Persian Empire. He said the same thing. Right? This is blown up now. You can see it. I should have let you read this part. I forgot to blow it up. I'll read it one more time. It said the Hebrew are decentralized groups of clans that have a tradition that they migrated from the northern area and are of the tribes of Ephraim, Naphtali, Manasseh, Levi, Zebulon, and Gad. Okay? That's where our ancestors dwell at, folks. And let me say something too. Many Jews, many of you in America that claiming to be Israelites, right? Many of you who say that you are from the tribe of Judah, that is a lie. Nobody know what tribe they're from.
Right.
If you came over, your ancestors came over on cargo ships in the Western Hemisphere. It was dropped off in the Caribbean and the Americas. You don't know what tribe you from. You can be from Issachar, Zebulon, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. You don't know.
Right.
You don't know. But many people claiming Judah, and you know why they're claiming Judah? They claiming Judah because of the chart, because of that man-made chart.
Right.
That's why they're claiming Judah. They don't know if they Judah. You don't know if you Judah. Nobody know.
Right. That
Again, you can be from you can be from any tribe. You do not know. Okay, you do not know. Read this for me right here, Yaden.
The children of Israel were not white, were not black, but boxwood.
Okay, this guy here, you all know this guy right here on the left side, right? Harry Rosenberg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think this is the same guy that Sarnetta also had on his show. This white Jew. He said that the children of Israel were not white, but he was quoting. I'm gonna show you guys who he was quoting. They were not white, were not black, but boxwood. Now you see how they try to play on words? They try to play on words. But they were not white though. But then again, they were not black though. But then again, there was boxwood. But wait a minute. Right. Let's use some common sense here, folks. Now we are going to get educated tonight. Yehuda's going to take us back to school tonight. Just as I was teaching in Jersey. I had to travel to Jersey every morning to teach. In Newark, New Jersey, I taught in Newark, New Jersey for 5 years. Okay. He said, well, the Jews weren't white. We all know they was not white. And then he say, but they were not black either. You see how they try to play with words, Jacob?
Exactly.
And then he say, but there was boxwood. But wait a minute. The word black, now we know there are no black people on this earth. When I say black people on this earth, I'm talking about the color black that you use to paint. You will never find no black person that, I mean, you'll find some people in Africa that's so dark that they, you know, they real dark.
Right.
Talking about a solid black. You will never find a human being that's a solid black. You will never find a human being on earth that is a solid white. Show me a human being solid white, and I give you. Listen. I commit. No, I'm not gonna say that. show me a person on this earth that's a solid white color.
Right.
Show me a person on this earth that is a solid red color. Have you ever seen a solid red color person?
Nope.
It don't exist. That's how you know these guys do not have no scholarship when they talk about Esau being the white man. Excuse me, because what it says in Genesis 25:25 that Esau came out red. There is no such thing as a red human being. You will never find no red human being walking this earth.
Right.
So it says the Jews were not white, but they were not black. There was boxwood, but wait. When you look at the color boxwood, Yapin, it is the color of black people.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Whenever I paint black people as an artist, and you can ask any professional white artist, whenever they paint black people, we use red and brown. When we mix and paint black people, I use brown and red. I use the red for the undertone because we are a reddish brown complexion, which is also ruddy, which is also red. It is interchangeable. The word red, ready, is interchangeable. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you see this picture right here of this white guy, this white Jew?
Mm-hmm.
He's holding a picture of Moses because he teach that the Jews are black. He's holding a painting. I actually seen this painting before. He's holding this painting of Moses as a black man. Okay? Because the Jews were black. But when you go back to this guy, he say the Jews were not white. They were not black. There was boxwood. Boxwood is quote unquote black. But you see how they try to play on words, right? Right here.
Yep. It's
Okay.
semantics.
Now let's see who he quoting right here. I'll read this part here, right? It says here. I'm gonna show you guys who this white guy Rosenberg was quoting. It says here, our Mishnah, he was quoting out of the Mishnah. Our Mishnah deals with the problem that the color of, negum, appear differently depending upon the skin color of a person being examined. This could determine the objectivity of the examination. And then he says near the bottom, the bright spot in a German European appears as dull white, and the dull white spot in an Ethiopian, okay, the dull white spot in an Ethiopian person, which is a black person, which is a ruddy person, appears as bright white. You see that? Why do the same spot, Yavin, a white spot on a white person appear to be dull, but the same white spot on a black person appears to be more white? Do you know that? Do you know the answer, Yavin?
Off the top of my head, I guess.
You know why? Because that same white spot on a white person is not going to be as white. Why? Because that white so-called quote-unquote European is a light-skinned person.
Oh,
you take that same white spot and you put it on a black person, it's going to appear white because the person that's black had darker skin complexion.